everybody. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but I was getting all sorts of notifications. Anyway, sorry about that. All right. I think that looks good. We'll check it here. And there we go. All right. Looks pretty good. I'm going to give it a little bit of a twist here. Hopefully that works. Sorry, guys. It's a great start. I have a frog in my throat. All sorts of fun stuff. Close enough, I think, here. Although now that I look at it, all right. I'm going to leave it now. Okay, so welcome back. If you're joining me live, it's probably, you may have just gotten on, but I am starting a little bit earlier tonight than I normally do, just because I have something I need to do at 7 o'clock tonight, my time, Central Time. So I wanted to come in and get a layout done, because it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you all. So I decided to do a little throwback to winter, because Monday is May 1st. Hey, Tammy, I live in Wisconsin, and they are projecting rain with sleet and snow mixed in. So I decided, you know what? Let's work on these winter photos. I've been doing a really good job. I scrapped with a friend last Thursday and got a ton of layouts done. I've been doing a really good job at getting some of my winter photos done. So I am going to use this paper, which is from 2018. It's Pink Fresh Studio Holiday Vibes, and it's a Season's Greeting paper. And it's a paper that I got at Ben Franklin before it closed. I liked the kind of different colors. I love the texture of Pink Fresh Studio paper. It's just a thicker cardstock, but kind of a neat cardstock. So I want to use this paper, and I think this is going to go really well with Snow and Cocoa from Crate Paper. So that's Snow and Cocoa right there. So we'll, I'll kind of figure that out. This is was a Christmas line from, let's see, 2016. But I did buy it after, like, the following year. I bought extras. So we're getting snow tomorrow, but it's actually pretty warm right now. So I'm gonna open my window here. So hopefully it won't be too crazy. So then I'm going to just do these 3 photos of my daughter-in-law and my oldest grandson at an ice rink on a date last January, so of 2022. And I pulled some papers just to see what I might like to do. So this is Pebbles Winter Wonderland. And I'm just going to go through and kind of decide. She has a peachy hat, which I think is nice in here. He's just in kind of black, so that's easy. So the hat looks really nice with this. This is not a bad paper, but I think it might be a little dark for what I want. I'm thinking lighter. But I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff and figured I'd take a peek. Now, that is definitely lighter. I could, this is just a scrap here, could shorten these photos up a little bit. I'm going to need to, actually, because this photo is shorter than the other 2. But I'm not sure that I like this green. I think it's a little too light compared to, like, even this. This is a little bit more minty. There's a little more yellow in this green. This is a bluey green. So I like this better. I think I'll just keep these off to the side. And then I grabbed my Doodlebug Petite Prints, and I grabbed the corals I had. So there's this one, which does a nice job of sort of highlighting them. I think it's lighter, or I think it's a little bit darker, but not too dark, except I think it comes off as being really orange against, like, these pieces here, and a little bit darker than I wanted. So still back to that, I think. And then I have this wood grain here, which now the difference here is that that orange from this page is actually in the grain versus, and then like it's flipped, the light and the dark here. So I actually really like that so far. I actually like it better than this one. I think it does a nice job of popping the photos of them without overpowering the photos of them, if that makes sense. And then my last candidate was this piece of Amy Tangerine Picnic in the Park. And this I liked because it's kind of a sweater print. And I thought that was kind of cute. Sort of a cute idea here. Again, though, even though it's a sweater print, especially when you look at it against her hat, although it goes well with her scarf or turtleneck, whatever she has on here, but I don't like it here. I think it's back to too much orange. So, winner here is that this is Doodlebug Petite Prints in Coral Buffalo Check Wood Grain. So then, oh, that's right. And I need to cut, I'm just going to do this with my handy little scissors here, trim this photo. I did these earlier. I don't know why they're not the same, but they aren't. So let's just get those cut the same so that it'll be easier. I'm going to use that tried and true, you know, either if I have 3 photos, they either go across like this. If they're horizontal, they tend to go down like this. What I do from there can vary a little bit, but that's how I generally lay those out. And then I'll decide what I'm going to do here. I think I want a little bit of a border here, but not too much. And actually, it will be easier on my trimmer if I make this kind of like a standard. Okay, so I think that's good. It's about 1/2 inch. In case anybody needs to know that. So this is M number 1 skating here. That's why there's this picture. I don't know that Mom skated. I know he did. I don't think she did. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut. For some reason, my photos always end up just a little bit wider. I've not really measured. I should measure to see. I get them, usually just get them printed at Walmart now. With the thousands of photos I'm scrapbooking, I can sacrifice a little bit of quality, in all seriousness. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and cut that top border. So there's that, and then I need to take that bottom border off this paper. This is a cute navy stamp. I do like that this is something different because there's red and green, there's that corally color, and then the light blue and navy. So that was a kind of a cute take on a Christmas collection if you want something other than just Christmas colors. I tend to throw a little aqua in when I scrapbook Christmas now. Okay. So now always the question is, do I bring that all the way to the top? Do I do that so I can see the top there? Or I can also bring it down to the bottom, which I actually kind of like that. And now that I've done that, I'm thinking I might change the borders and make them a little bit thinner. Hey, Nancy. Tammy says she prints at Walmart too. Because I think it would be, yeah, this is nice, but generally strings of lights hang over your head. So I like that, how that's going. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to shorten this up just a little bit. So thanks you guys for joining me. You may not have heard, but I've got something going on at 7. So I'm on a little bit earlier than I normally am. Okay, and then because I'm bringing this all the way to the bottom, I'm not going to do this. That just looks a little weird to my eye, just because of my whole philosophy here about the reason I did this is because strings of light hang above your head. Now, I grabbed, when I was pulling this out, I found a couple of stickers here. And now this one may not work quite the way I thought it was going to. I was thinking about putting this below. It says Winter Fun. This is an old Bella Boulevard sheet called Winter Wonderland. It's the Just Right stickers. It's old. So I thought about using this because I think that makes a nice, it's kind of a fun, you know, there's skates on it, but I don't think this is going to work with where this is. I also liked that it was red and it played off that. So that was a nice idea, but is probably not going to work on this layout. I did see this large cup of coffee. So let me put that on there. So there's this piece. And I thought that was cute because they're holding hot chocolate there. And then I pulled these two wood veneers that I still have. They were the last two from the paper studio. So that's Hobby Lobby. And so I thought somehow I could maybe make this kind of work. Now this is still a thought because there's not any brown in here and this is all black. But I do also have my chipboard and my snow and cocoa. So let's grab that. And then the reason I was thinking snow and cocoa here is because I have if I can get it, I have a snowflake here that's kind of a peachy color, and there's a tree that's a peachy color. There's a bird actually in a peachy color wearing a scarf about the same color as my daughter-in-law's scarf there. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. If I can get it out. It feels like this isn't maybe cut all the way through. No. Normally they don't come out this hard. Because I actually broke the snowflake trying to get it out. Okay. Ugh. I did some not so good things to my poor snowflake here. Let me see if I can get this to go one way or the other. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this because I totally broke the snowflake. Now, that's okay. If I need to, and I decide to put that on this layout, we'll just glue it back together. But, oh man. Yikes. Okay, so thinking about this snowflake would probably work really well. This one I think has to go on here because of the color, and I'm thinking maybe just to draw a little bit of attention over her head, but we'll see. I do need, and I somehow ended up with two pieces of this chipboard. I don't quite know how that happened. Okay, let's not break the bird. But I left it. There's something going on with this sheet because it's not as easy to get out. But I do like that bird too because he's got that color. But I have the big sticker sheet here from that collection, and there's some nice greens in here too. It's like I could pull a tree in here. I'm going to pull that out. So essentially right now I'm just sort of using the edge of my mat here to hold things. And okay. This is long beyond welcome winter because it was in January. There is a burr in that coral color. There's also the lighter coral color. So I'm just going to grab those stickers and pop them along the side there. And, oh, here's one that says Cocoa, and it's in that, like, red. Maybe the title of this will be Brrr Cocoa. And then I can talk about everything in here. Here's another little bird in that color. Okay, so I think I pulled all that. There is a tree in this peachy color too. I'm going back to my original sheet if I have stuff that I can use because it comes off much easier. See, look at that. That just popped right out. Because I could do this and then do like a second one maybe. I like that kind of as something a little bit different. I'm feeling less like using that, but we'll see. And then I wanted to look through here, which is the ephemera pack, to see what I might find in here. This is cute. It's a child throwing a snowball, but that is, nobody's throwing a snowball here, so that won't work. I do have lots of white, but I also have this kind of minty color. Oops. And other snowflakes. Let's see. Snowman's Mittens, Hot Cocoa and Happiness. It's definitely, there was Hot Cocoa and Happiness. There's that bird. There's a ski. If snowflakes were kisses, I'd send you a blizzard. Let's see, a stamp. Here's a Brrr. It says bright. This would be nice if I was going to use that piece. I'm just going to pop that over there. Oh, and this one is kind of nice. It says ice skating winter season rink. So that I like. Just because, and it's more aqua, but I think it's okay. It's like a lighter shade of that. I could use that for journaling even a little bit on here. So now my original thought was I was going to do something like this, right? But I think what I'll do is pop this tree up underneath this one, and let's see if this works. I really want to get this in here if I can. Like, can we do that? And there's this winter pass here is not here, obviously, where they are. So I'm okay if I hide that a little bit. What I'm trying not to do is have the top of this and the top of this be the same. So let me get this guy down here. Not quite sure where that title, oh, the title could even go down there or something, now that I'm looking at that. Okay. And I want to leave as much of this light here as I can. Let's see. Maybe I do that. Now I also could go through here and ink everything. We'll see. This I think is out now. I don't think I'm going to use this. I'm just going to pop that up there. So that goes away. I do have some snowflakes, although now these snowflakes are sort of, the size is pretty big. But let's see, can I, because I can, and I do this often when I do snowflakes, is I'll do a portion of it on the layout. Let me see. I also have some like wood snowflakes, so I could bring that in as a piece of wood. I really would like to get at least one of these on here, but they look a little out of proportion with the trees here. So I think that's not going to work for that reason. There's that Brrr. I don't mind that. And I think the wood is not as important to get on here because there is, I like the idea of getting those on there. So my idea was to get some snow, you know, to get the snowflakes and stuff on here. And I don't think I'm going to end up putting any snowflakes on here, which is, or snowflakes and what do I want to say? Snowflakes and the coffee or cocoa idea. So I'm looking, ideally it would be nice if I could find, oh, I do have that sticker. with this color. And I do, oh, and I also have this one to go back to this one that's the acetate. So I could just kind of tuck that under there, so then at least everything is sort of related here. Now, Brrr Cocoa. I'm going to grab my wax paper. I need to stop humming here, sorry. Ooh, I also do have, I have a snowflake in this red-orange color too. That might become important once I decide what I'm doing with the title. Just trying to decide. This is really bright. Maybe we could do something like that. Once I get this title, I think down there, but I need my wax paper to determine that. To figure out where that could go. And I could just line it up here. I could also take that acetate and put it like down here somewhere too. I'm going to look at that as well. And then I can talk about ice skating, like an afternoon date with mom and ice skating. And actually, what I should do, instead of trying to space these little tiny letters out, oftentimes what I do is I just push them together. And I need to do that so I know that the spacing is right here. Oops. I do kind of like that down here. I think if I put it up here, there's too much going on here. And I could pull that off there, but the lettering, I think it stands out down here a lot better. So yeah, that feels good. And then I was just thinking before, I was talking about maybe this note, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to leave this to say the Brrr Cocoa here. And kind of space these out a bit. What I'm going to do is line up the bottom of the letters with the bottom of the photo. And this one, I just want to make sure that the spacing is okay. So that's how I'm determining that. And got that done. There we go. Last Friday night, when I wasn't here, I got to go to dinner with a really good friend of mine from college that I hadn't seen in an age. We don't live that far apart, and we were roommates post-college. We lived next door during college, and then post-college at one point when we had been out for a while, we were roommates. But she doesn't live that far apart, and I never get to see her, so it was really nice to be able to do that. Okay. So I'm going to take those off, and we can play with those. Now, I said I wasn't going to do all that writing with this skating thing, but I'm going to now. And then here's the tricky part, is how to get that snowflake to stay on there. And I'm going to try it this way with a little bit of glue on it there and hope that that's going to hold it down. Once I get these in place, I'll probably come back and get it underneath there a little bit. Okay, so this guy, we need to get on there too. Embellishments often are mail to me. Do you want to know why? It's because they can be troublesome. As much as I love Dear Boyfriend. And he is not troublesome at all, seriously. But I thought about that one day. I'm like, I always refer to embellishments as him. Glad you're laughing, Nancy. Although anybody who has a relationship can probably understand that, right? They just think differently than we do. Thank goodness, in all seriousness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is once I get this all down to, I'll hook this in. And I really like to do this with snowflakes where I let them go off of a page. Some of it on, some of it off, especially if I'm doing like a lot of snowflakes. I like to do that. Okay, and then this burr needs to go down as well. Okay, and I think we have that down pretty good there. I'll come back and cut that off in just a minute. I was just trying to determine if I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that acrylic snowflake to the chipboard, and then I did it with a sticker already. Okay, I'm liking the way that's looking. I like the way that I'm going to give that a little bit more. And then, you know, that snowflake, you can definitely tell here that it broke, but I think it's okay. I have had, well, some days I'm better at letting go of perfection than others. Today's apparently one I'm good at it. Okay. So then we have that. And then the question is, trying to figure out, what do we do with this? Do I like it better there? Is that too much? And we just leave it like this? But I do, because if it's up here, I feel like we need some of this red somewhere. I wish I had a tiny little, oh, I do have this sticker though. So if I did, so I could do like that, and then this one up in here, and then I know what we'll do, because I didn't like that. Here I just popped it in the middle of that snowflake. I didn't like all the dimension here. So what I'm going to do is put a pop dot behind that one. And besides, I do work with regular pop dots as well as that foam tape. Sometimes when I have something round like this, I just grab the pop dots. Seems easier. And I probably could have looked at putting something in the center there, but I don't think I need to on this other snowflake. Okay, so a couple things going on here. These are on here a little wonky, and right now I've got the side with the most space on the top here, and maybe this isn't going to come off. There we go. Yay for the old Cricut spatula, in all seriousness. Oh my goodness, I've destroyed this poor layout. Okay, so there we go. We have red, red, red. The corals, coral there. So that looks pretty good to me. Feels like, yeah, feels like I have that figured out, that all looks really good. And then what I'll do, and this burr is kind of hanging out there, but I'm okay with that, you know, tucking that like that. So no little birds on this one. I have a hard time with birds. I don't have any problem with birds. I actually like them quite a bit, but I have a hard time getting them on layout sometimes. I was just looking. I do have other colors of these trees. Do we want to get another tree in here? I'm a little concerned that this is going to be so tree heavy and then snowflake over there that it'll look a little weird. But we'll see. Let me put another one on here and see if I like that any better. Now, I think I'm starting to climb into this and there's not enough breathing room here. Climb into it, move over into that other one there, and it feels like I don't have enough breathing room between the two clusters there. So I think I'll leave that as is. And I'm really liking how that turned out. I think it's a cute layout of two of my cuties. I can't claim my daughter-in-law as having anything to do with her cuteness, but she is pretty darn cute. All right, so that is going to be the layout for tonight, just because I won't have time to do another one. But I just had a thought. I had a picture ready in case I went through this really, really fast. Just like I just showed you guys how I, as I pulled together what my thoughts were for this, my thoughts were for what I was going to use for this bottom paper. I think I'll pull a layout together. We'll just do that, and then I'll scrapbook it at some point this weekend. And then when I come back, I think next weekend I can be here. Hang on a second. I always forget that I can do this. Or yeah, I think yes, unless I do something for Cinco de Mayo. Right now, I think I will be here next Friday. But I think what I'll do is then scrapbook it over the weekend, and then I'll show you what happened once I get that in. So Tammy just said birds and butterflies are hard for her. So for some reason, I don't have a hard time with butterflies, but I do with birds. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. All right. So the next one that I was going to do, and it's getting harder for me. I have less and less single or double photos, or just 3. I have a lot of 2-page layouts left, so maybe you'll see some more of those. But this is a picture of M1, and he went school shopping with his mom. A few things for himself, but he picked out, they went to a really lovely thrift or resale shop, and picked out stuff for his brothers and his sister. And he did a really good job shopping. So she sent me that photo of him, and I thought, well, let's, I wanted to just save that because I thought it was sweet that he was, helping choose things for his siblings, and yeah, that was just a nice thing. So I need to grab some paper, and I think I'll just this, and I have this paper in 2 different spots. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm going to remedy that right now. I'm going to be putting these 2, for some reason I have school I know why I had my school collections in 2 different folders, but for some reason now there's the one is split between 2. So here's my school collections, and it'd be nice if I could find something about shopping, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm thinking, obviously, that blue is so prominent, and I don't know if that blue is that prominent on any one particular piece of paper. This, by the way, is Echo Park I Love School, and I believe this was last year's school collection. And this is probably one of my favorite pieces of paper for that. I've used that a lot. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's shopping related. So I really like that. This little composition notebook is nice. And actually that could work nicely there. The green in here, although I like it, so what I'm thinking is maybe 2/3 of this, 1/3 of a green, and then that. Now, I could still use this. I was thinking no, because it's like a chalkboard and he's not in school, but maybe that's not such a bad thing. Or the other thing, I think I saw the number paper go by. There is a number paper here, I thought. if there is, then that might be cool to use that as the background, just because I talked about how frugal he was. And now I'm getting into all sorts of other paper collections that are not that. Hang on a second. I thought I saw number paper in here. I'm pretty sure there was one. M number 4 is number wild though. So, there we go. Okay. So let's see if I think this is strong enough. And I'm just going to pull this aside here. So we have kind of this going right now. And I like how bright this is as a background, kind of a fun background. Or I could go with this and that. So this is definitely a more subdued layout if I do it like this. And then I also don't love the combination of this with this. The letters and the numbers, they're all about the same scale, and that throws it off because of the scale. So let me look. I could always do this, or to make this brighter, something like that. Not loving the red. Looking to see if there's another red in here. I think what it is, you guys, is I'm pretty sure oh, here's another red. Let's try this one and see if this works with this at all. If I like that. Yeah, the red. I'm missing something bright here. There is a yellow piece of paper. Let's see how that works in with this. And I could do something with, maybe they have numbers in the sticker book or something like that. Yeah, nope, I'm missing the green. I could do like stacks of pattern paper, but I don't think so. I don't know about you guys, but this layout with this paper, I think is less strong. Because his shirt is so bright, and I have a really hard time using a background that's really white like this without framing out the paper. And I could do that like that, but I think I don't need to. So I'll show you the two ideas here maybe. So that, I don't think this blue comes across strong enough with this. And maybe like this as some sort of frame. Option is to pull these two out, go back to this, and do this, which I really love. And I think the reason I love, first of all, I love this piece of paper, but the other reason I think I really like this is just his shirt is so bright, and then this feels bright, that feels bright, so all three bright. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to construct a layout at some point this weekend with these three pattern papers together, and I'll do it with school supplies. Obviously that's easy to do. I do have this little banner here that says school, so my thought is somehow I could do something about school shopping. And maybe if I did it more as a banner across here and then like shopping underneath in some smaller letters, I certainly have plenty of mini alphas that I could do that with. There's a cute little thing here that says you don't teach, you inspire. And that could be a nice dovetail to the journaling that I'm going to talk about, how frugal he is and how thoughtful and that kind of stuff. And getting, they're a family of 6, so how he's just aware of needing to watch money and that kind of stuff. Not that, they're not doing okay, they certainly are fine, but I just like that he's thinking about that kind of thing already. So maybe I'll pull that you don't teach, you inspire as like, here's, you've done a good job with it so far, and then try to get this banner in. So we'll see what happens, because banners really are my biggest, banners like this are kryptonite for me. Anything that's on an imaginary string like that, I always have a hard time with. So that's where I kind of am. So that's, you know, like I said, I need to be off before 7, so I don't have time to actually construct this layout with you guys, but now you kind of know what I'm going to do, where it is, and sorry to tease, but I'll bring that back for you later on. And then I'm going to hop back with this one. So this is the layout that we did tonight with crepe paper, snow, and cocoa, and a little bit of doodle bug here, but everything else is crepe paper, snow, and cocoa. So I really like how that looked in the end, and just did a really nice job. And I hit banners or light strings. Actually was able to use that light string paper, so that made me really excited. So hopefully you guys have something fun planned tonight as well. And I think I will be back next Friday night. It looks like it, once I looked at my schedule, that I'll probably be able to do that next Friday night. Hope you guys are well. And obviously you'll see me on Tuesdays and Thursdays in videos as well. You guys take care. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. Bye, everybody.